Hey guys, in this video I'm going to show you how to make your photos pop inside of Lightroom using just a few simple techniques that I use myself on the majority of my street photography photos. Obviously it does help if you do have a good lens to start with. This is the 85mm f1.4 Mark II from Samyang. This is an absolute beast of a lens for street photography and portrait work and other things like that. So open it up at f1.4 and it is sharp as anything. So yeah, let's jump into Lightroom and I'll show you exactly what it is that I do to make my photos pop. Okay guys, so we're inside Lightroom now and we're just going to start right here. This is the image that I'm going to use. This is a photo that I captured up in London. I'm just going to hit reset to make sure everything is reset. So to begin with, we are going to add my blue light preset. So that's that. Following on from there, I come down and I find the sharpening section under detail. I think the sharpening should be fine because I use the lens, the 85mm. Hold option, click down on masking, and I'm going to bring it up a little bit until it's just round about showing the outline of the subject, and obviously it's picking up a little bit of the background too. So I'm going to bring that so it does defocus the background a little bit more. Always come down to here. I always remove chromatic aberration, even though there's probably none there. I never enable profile correction. Then I'll come down again. I'll press auto to give it a little straighten, and there you go. Come down on this preset. I do have some grain built into it. I do like a little bit of grain on my street photography. So yeah, there's that one there. So from there, I'll come back up to the top. I'll go to the masking, select subject, and I will increase the subject just a tad. So they've gone up to +16. Bring down the contrast just a tad. And then highlights. Sometimes I like to just bring it up a little bit. On certain photos, I bring it up or bring it down. There we go. There's that. And add a little bit of shadow. Maybe bring a little bit the blacks down, and then after that I will go and create another mask. I just pressed Shift and M, that will give me my radial gradient. Comes the subject and just bring it around them roughly like that, and then go up to subtract, select subject, that was meant to say, and then I will add a bit of contrast in the background just to darken it out a little bit. And here's where I bring down the highlights and bring down some shadow as well. And then just on the subject, go back to the subject, and I'm going to add a little bit of saturation just there. That's perfect. And then from there, to create another mask, you can obviously create mask. If you just press M on your keyboard, if you're on a Mac, it will give you your linear gradient. And I like to bring this up a little bit. Obviously the sun is coming in from that way, so I bring it up just up to the top of the subject there. Again, click subtract, select subject, and there you go. So again, I'll add another little bit of contrast just to darken it a little bit, bring down the highlights, and again bring down the shadows. Can also add a little bit of black in there as well, just to bring a bit more focus to the subject. And then same again, I'll get another linear gradient and I will bring it down from this side, I think. Yeah, just behind. Again, subtract, select subject, and the exact same procedure. Add a little bit of contrast, take down some highlights, remove some shadows, and you can already see that the subject is popping nicely. I'm going to go back down to my first mask where the subject, and I'm just going to bring up the color temperature a little bit just to try and bring it back to a little bit more normality, because she was looking a little bit blue. Maybe add a little bit of green in there just to change it up a little bit more. That's absolutely perfect. So if you come up here, you can see the before and after, And I think I just want the subject to be a little bit more exposed. So I'm going to go back to the exposure and just bring her up a little bit. There we go. And then you can obviously, that is literally it. That's all I do to make my subject pop. You can obviously go in and do a little bit more editing if you want to. Come back up to the mask, and this time select people. So it will detect the people in the frame. There we go. We've got her. So I want to do the facial skin. I'm going to put a bit on her hair and her clothes. And I'm going to go create masks. So this will give you 3 separate masks for everything you've just selected. So the first one we've got is the facial skin. So I'm just going to press spacebar and click in to zoom in a little bit. And on here, I'm just going to have a little play around, try and bring it back to a little bit more normal skin tone. So there we go, that will be absolutely fine. Got to the next mask, which is her hair. Maybe add a little bit more highlight, let that sun shine through from the direction that it's coming from. And her hair looks a little bit orangey, so I'm just going to bring that down, and I'm going to bring the saturation down just a tad. Like that, perfect. Next one was her clothes. So I'm going to zoom back out. And here I'm just going to try and take the blues out of that a little bit, just to give it a little bit more pop so it's not blending in too much with the background. And there you go. That's pretty much it. So we got before, after, and after. So we can check that on full screen, see how it looks. And there you go, that was so simple. Just a few simple techniques to make your photo pop. There you go, you can zoom in, you can see it's absolutely perfect. So I'm going to go zoom back out, there we go. I'm going to pick another photo. This one here, come down, reset. So there you go, that's the original photo. So we're going to do the exact same procedure. I'm going to come down to the sharpening. And obviously this is the main subject in the photo. So, oh, excuse me, I didn't actually add my preset. So I'm going to add my blue light preset and then come down to the masking. And I'm going to bring it down so it's kind of just outlining the subject to the best that I can. There we go. And I'm going to come down again, remove chromatic aberration, press auto. And there you go, nice straight horizon on the photo. And again, you have got the grain in with this one as well, because it's the same preset. So I'll come up, select subject, and there you go. Obviously it's got the 2 girls at the front, so it selected both of them, which is absolutely fine. And I'm going to come up, bring up the exposure just a tad, bring a little bit more light into them, and take away a little bit of contrast. Maybe bring up a little bit of highlight there and a little bit of shadow as well. And then I'm going to come down. I think, no, I'm not actually. I'm going to leave that like that. I'm going to come up and add my radial gradient. So obviously I've got 2 subjects here, so I kind of need to make them both work. So that'll do just fine. Subtract, select subject. So we've got just the background there. Take the contrast up. Obviously it's quite overexposed on the back a little bit where the sun is beaming down on that building in the background, so I'm going to bring the contrast up quite high to make it quite dark there. Bring down some highlights, you can see it taking it out of the building on the background, and remove some shadow, which you can see in between the 2 subjects. And you can already see that the subjects have popped quite a lot from that. So I'm going to press M, add a linear gradient. I'm going to come up from just the top, come down to around about there, subtract, select subject, and I'm going to add a little bit more contrast. You can see the color change in there, which looks nice. Bring down a little bit more highlight just at the top, and remove a little bit of shadow. And pretty much that is it. Done. You can see the before, you can see the after. Before, after, and you can see how much the subject pops just by making a few little techniques, a few little changes within your photo. And yeah, obviously with something like this, you know, her bag, you can change the color of the bag. If you go to masking, and if you go create new mask, select objects, and it will always put you on this first mode, like the paintbrush to draw around what you want. If you come across and press this little square one, you can then just select an area on your screen, let it go, and there you go, it's just selected a bag. So I think I'd like the bag to be kind of the same color as her top a little bit more. So I'm just going to bring up the temperature a little bit, and you can see it kind of blending in more with her top, which I think looks much nicer. And you can see it's obviously, it makes the bag pop a little bit more as well. You could do the same over here, like on her bag if you wanted to, but that's not really the main focus of the subject of the picture. So there you go. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Simple steps to make your photos pop. I will be making more tutorials. This is, like I said, this is just a really simple one. I do have also this lens right here. This is the 35 to 150 f2 to 2.8 from Samyang. And I've got this on loan for a couple of weeks. I will be making some content with this, so please do, if you would like to, subscribe, hit the notification bell, so you are notified when I do upload new videos. And if there is any questions you would like to know about this video, anything else along the lines of making them pop, if it's something that you can't get or anything like that, then drop me a message or a comment down below. Not drop me a message. Unless you follow me on Instagram, you can follow me on Instagram, which is here, and then you can drop me a message there. So there you go, guys. That's how to make your photos pop inside of Lightroom. I would love to see your photos if you are using this technique or trying it out for the first time. Use the hashtag 2020vision, or you can tag me in your post when you upload to social media, in your stories, anything like that. I would love to see your work. If we get enough work uploaded from other people, I will start including them in my YouTube videos, and I will go through and highlight what I feel is the best images from that time. And yeah, next video coming will be, like I said, with this 35 to 150 f2 to 2.8 from Samyang. I'm yet to try it out as of this point, but I'm looking forward to heading out and shooting something with it. So with all that done and said, I will see you on the next video.